Hello, I am Joshua Leal,
And I am Amo Misto.
and this is our Capstone project.
Starro! Starro! We got our things. Got the seaweed.
Taro,
Taro!
what's in the bag?
Let's do a haul. Got the taro. Seaweed. Let's get experimenting.
Wala po kayo nakita.
Napunit! We did it! Bye!
Straw.
Starro! Starro! Starro!
that concludes our project.
Good morning, panels. I am Sheragwen Eselica from grade 12 Matthew, and I am one of the proponents of improvised vending machine called Bote Mask.
My name is Vince Luigi de la Cruz from 12 STEM, and I am one of the proponents about the improvised vending machine called Bote Mask.
Our purpose of the study is to create a robotic vending machine that will motivate the community to recycle, and also to encourage people to use face masks to prevent the spread of viruses, and lastly, to reduce plastic waste on the surroundings.
We use cartoon as the outer layer of the machine and bamboo sticks to support the structure of the machine. Next, we use Arduino Uno R3 to serve as the main system of the machine and program it to our sensor 1 and 2 for the detection of bottles, and we use servo motor for the dispense of face mask. As you can see, we test the sensor if it detects the plastic bottles. We use tapes to secure everything. To ensure the cleanliness and sterile of the face mask, the proponent used gloves and put the mask inside of ice water plastic, perfectly fit for the mask, and candles to seal it off. Here, we test the machine, and as you can see, the LED light will light up, indicating that the face mask is ready to be claimed. To make the machine look neat and presentable, we use adhesive wallpaper. Now, we are ready to conduct the experiment outside of Gordon Heights Barangay Hall.
Therefore, we conclude that the type of plastic bottles that can be inserted in the machine is at maximum of 6.2 cm in diameter and 20 cm in length. The researchers also conclude that Bote Mask satisfied the users in terms of speed and usefulness. And lastly, we conclude that there is an increase of plastic bottles inserted with the 3 consecutive days of experiment.
Hello, my name is Jordan Magbanua.
And I am Rosel Scars. We are the grade 12 STEM students of Olongapo Wesley Senior High School.
And welcome to our Capstone research presentation.
Everyone,
Our Oriza Sativa Hot Project as an alternative component of paper.
This study focuses on the formulation of finding alternative papers and to determine the similarities and differences of the commercial paper that we use and the paper that the researchers will make. First, we prepared 312 grams of rice hull,
3 gallons of sodium hypochlorite or bleach,
2 packs of gao-gao or cassava starch.
and 1 kilo of caustic soda.
In a large casserole, we transferred 312 grams of rice hull
236 grams of caustic soda.
and 2,750 ml of water.
After that, we boiled it for 2 hours.
Two hours passed, we let it cool down for an hour.
Then, we washed the boiled rice hull before bleaching.
We poured 1,250 ml of bleach, then letting it soak overnight. This was the result after soaking the rice hull with bleach overnight.
We squeezed the soaked rice hull for the second time of bleaching.
This time, we only poured 1000 ml of sodium hypochlorite to make the rice hull look brighter.
Moving on to the next process, the pulping process.
First, we washed the bleached rice hull with water, then we squeezed it until dry. This is called the fiber. After that, we used a blender for the fiber until it became a well-blended fiber. In a large basin, we filled half of it with water. This is where the paper making process will occur. We poured the fiber with cassava starch from the blending process and started to scoop it using the silk screen. Let it dry overnight. This was the result. As you can see, it almost looks like a commercial paper. Our newly brought blender from Lazada overheated, then it stopped working. We only did the same process for this, but this time, we only used 55 grams of cassava starch for our treatment B. And this was the result. This study discovered that the Oryza sativa hull can be a component of paper. The researchers concluded based on the statistical test, there is no significant difference between the characteristics of commercial paper and the paper with a component of rice hull in terms of the paper surface, strength, and opacity.
Good day everyone, to our panelists and to our research advisor, Ma'am Jomali Musal. I am John Israel Dandap, and my companion in this project is no other than Ron Iman Latzak.
Good morning to all of us and to our honorable panels and to our Capstone advisor, Ma'am J.M. Rosal. And now, we present you this water hyacinth as an alternative for commercially used fire retardant.
Fire is known as a dangerous force, hence fire retardants are made to reduce the risk it poses. However, commercially used fire retardants contain boric acid, polycarbonate substance, and other thermoplastics which are proven that it is dangerous to human's health and the environment. The abundance and composition of water hyacinth as a rich source of cellulose made the plant ideal for the study's purpose, which is to test the efficacy of bio-based fire retardant solutions. And now, let's move forward for the methodology part. First is the gathering of materials. The water hyacinth was collected from Linuron, Linacin, San Marcelino, Zambales. Various chemicals that are going to be used for the extraction of cellulose and lignin content of the water hyacinth like sodium hypochlorite and sodium hydroxide was obtained in Medical Laboratories PH in Novaliches, Bulacan. After gathering the materials, we will now extract the cellulose from the water hyacinth. The water hyacinth was dried in the sun for 6 days. Dried water hyacinth was washed and cut into small pieces. A sample of 50.10 grams of dried water hyacinth was bleached using sodium hypochlorite. The bleaching process was carried out at a heating temperature of 75 to 80 degrees Celsius and kept stirring for 4 hours.
After bleaching, the sample was decanted and filtered to separate from the filtrate. The neutralized sample was refluxed using 150 ml sodium hydroxide for 3 hours at a heating temperature of 45 degrees Celsius.
As same as the first experiment, there are 3 setups. The first setup is a plywood without any influence of any liquid or substance. The second setup is a plywood coated with a fire retardant paint. The third setup is a plywood coated with cellulose extracted from water hyacinth for 5 times. Each setup will be torched for 3 minutes, and see their changes after being burned. Lastly, look which setup finally withstand the fire, and who among them is the most degraded setup.
We are a grade 12 STEM students from Olongapo West School. With this video, we're going to discuss about our Capstone project entitled the Improvised Solar Powered Outlet. Well, the main goal of this study is to create a device that could help us and also our environment.
which is an alternative outlet with the use of solar panels. Let us all watch the journey of the researchers and know if an improvised solar-powered outlet really helps the community to reduce electric consumption, especially to know if there is a significant difference between an improvised solar-powered outlet and the normal electrical outlet.
First thing to do is the gathering of materials. Basically, the researchers bought all the materials around Olongapo City due to insufficient time. A device that absorbs energy from the sun. The mono solar panel with 25 watts was bought at Bandacorp Solar Incorporated located at SPMA. This controls the voltage and currents coming from the solar panel going to the battery. The solar charge controller was bought at New Star located at Magsaysay Drive. The one that converts DC to AC and the wires that allows the electricity to flow from one device to another. The solar power inverter and the wires were bought at Vision Electronics located near at Ulo ng Apo. Lastly, the researchers used a quantum motor battery instead of a solar battery due to unavailability. But this doesn't affect our device. It is bought at Garbes Dison and Sons Electronics located at Bongalaw Road. Here are the steps and procedures in making the device. First step is the gathering of materials needed. You will also need a tester to check the power load of your service, also a plier to cut the wires and an electrical tape to connect and keep the wires safe. Cutting the wires are the next step. Cut a certain amount of length of wires needed, depending on how long you want your device from each other. Next, setting up the devices such as the solar charge controller and the solar power inverter. Slightly loosen up the tools in the junction of the solar charge controller so you can insert the wires clearly. And for the solar power inverter, check if its system works perfectly fine. Next, connect all the device with the use of wires. Make sure to put the red wires on the positive charge of each device and the black wires on the negative charge. Last, check the power load of the device. After creating the outlet, you can now check the power load of the device using a tester and start trying your device. Let's now proceed to the testing part. In testing the outlet with the modem, it takes 3 to 4 hours to drain the battery. In testing the outlet with electric fan, it takes 15 to 17 minutes to drain the battery. In testing the outlet with light bulb, it takes 6 hours to drain the battery. And for the results and discussion, let us show you first the wattage of the different appliances used in the trials with this table. And the researchers compared the electricity bill by getting the previous kilowatts per hour and the present kilowatts per hour by subtracting the average of kilowatts per hour of all the appliances used in the trials. With this, the researchers got the t-value, which is 0.05426, while the p-value is 0.479664, and the result is not significant at p less than 10. The researchers therefore conclude that there is no significant difference between the solar-powered outlet innovated by the researchers and the normal electric outlet. It is recommended to use higher value for the materials needed to increase the kilowatts per hour and to use appliances with a lesser wattage value.
Here are some of the recommendations and suggestions of the panel. The researchers try to use the device while continuously charging the solar. But the results of the test doesn't give big difference compared to the first test of the researchers. And lastly, the researchers developed the device into portable solar-powered outlet.
Good day everyone, I am Justin Marcuy.
And I'm Jan Cedric Valencia.
And we are from Olongapo Wesley School, 12 STEM.
And our capstone research is entitled
Portable Self-Powered Machine Using Water Current.
What is the purpose of the study?
The purpose of this capstone project is to create a self-powered machine using water current to generate electricity in high places that has a river flow.
This research project will greatly help people in high place that has no access to electricity due to their location, and this will help them in their problem with electricity supply.
Methodology.
We use an old electric fan motor, a
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Don't leave me here high and dry.
For the placement of the machine, we'll look for a place with a high water current to place the machine in. And now you can see that the machine is placed.
Bilis na ng rotation niya, no?
And at this part, you can see that the power bank is charging, and the light is an indicator that the machine is working. And now we are charging a Bluetooth earphone using our machine. Now we are charging the two devices using only our self-powered machine using water current.
Hindi nakita dito na kulang, eh.
Presentation of the result.
This study, entitled Portable Self-Powered Machine Using Water Current, has the conclusion to determine the capacitance, wattage, and voltage produced of our machine compared to hydroelectric and power bank.
In accordance with the result of the observation, SPSS analysis, and the statistical test, the researcher concluded that the amount of capacitance in a power bank is higher than the two machines with the
420 microfarads,
and the machine that has the highest voltage is the hydroelectric that has
120 voltage.
And when it comes to the wattage, the hydroelectric has the most wattage,
300 watts.
and that is our capstone research.
I am Ivy Catherine Villanueva, a grade 12 STEM learner from Olongapo Wesley School.
And I am Aaron Christian Del Rosario, a grade 12 STEM learner from Olongapo Wesley School. And this is our video presentation for our Capstone project. Our study was entitled to an alternative fertilizer using sawdust, orange peel, and adult human urine. And its purpose is to recycle materials like sawdust, orange peel, and human urine that will be used to make the alternative fertilizer.
The proponents are passionate about conducting this study because we will benefit from it by reducing environmental issues such as waste generated by people. Another goal of this study is to put the reuse, reduce, and recycle rule into practice.
The research design of this study was completely randomized and it was used where all treatments performed the same series of experiments and studied the results as they were examined.
To make our fertilizer, the first thing that we did is we gathered the materials, such as the oranges that was bought on our local market. Then we will take the orange peel.
The sawdust and human urine were provided at the proponent's house. Other materials such as soil, jar, and blender were also utilized by the proponents at their home.
The second thing that we did is the procedures. The existing woods were gathered and used through the process of sowing. The orange peel was dried and exposed to the sun for 4 hours, and after that we grounded the orange peel with the use of blender, and it was further pulverized into fine particles. The collected adult human urine was also exposed to the sun for sunlight. That will be also a component in the production of the fertilizer that we are going to produce. For the preparation of the treatments, in this part, the 3 treatments were prepared for making the alternative fertilizer. The treatment A was composed of 20 grams of sawdust, 30 grams of orange peel, and 80 ml of human urine. Treatment B is prepared by mixing 25 grams of sawdust, 40 grams of orange peel, and 80 ml of human urine. Treatment C is composed of 30 grams of sawdust, 50 grams of orange peel, and 80 ml of human urine.
Lastly, the testing was the final thing that we did. The following tests were conducted to determine the quality of the soil fertilizer as an alternative fertilizer in the growth of eggplant.
We tested it through the number of leaves, height of the plant, and the number of crop yield.
The statistical treatment of this project is the multiple analysis of variance, or what we call MANOVA. With the level in significance of 0.05, it was used to identify if there is a significant difference between the growth of an eggplant with the designated amount of treatments. The proponents used an SPSS with its latest version of 1.0.0.1406.
The table above shows the MANOVA test for the number of leaves, plant height, and for the number of crop yield. According to the findings, there is no significant difference between alternative fertilizer in terms of number of leaves and plant height, stating that the experimental alternative fertilizer is capable of growing a plant. For the number of crop yield, there were no test results. The proponents discovered that the best amount of alternative fertilizer for the growth of eggplant was the treatment C. The researchers concluded that nitrogen, carbon, potassium, and phosphorus aided in the growth of the eggplant since they are the main component found in sawdust, orange peel, and adult human urine.
In a 3-week cycle, the treatments affect the growth of the eggplant in terms of leaf number, plant height, and crop yield number due to the different combination of soil fertilizer. There is no significant difference between the soil fertilizers in the growth development of the eggplant in terms of the number of leaves, the height of the plant, and to the number of crop yield with this component quantity of sawdust, orange peel, and adult human urine.